One of the things you need to know for this unit is the names and equations for each of the parent functions being the most basic function of every type. So you need to know these, that this is the equation, f of x equals 3. This could be any constant, and this is called a constant function because y is a constant number, always the same. This is f of x equals x and is the most basic linear function. Now, a constant function is also linear, but this is a specific linear function where there is no x-coordinate, just a constant. This is f of x equals the absolute value of x, and of course is called the absolute value function. The next function is f of x equals x squared and is a quadratic function. You may have also heard it called a parabola. The shape is a parabola, but this specifically is the name of the function is a quadratic function. This is f of x equals x cubed, and we call this the cubic function. Actually, not sure why I'm writing the word function. I don't need function. We can just assume they're all a function. Okay, so that's cubic. The next one is f of x equals 1 over x, and that is the reciprocal function. Because if I put in a value for x, the input value, the output value is the reciprocal of the input value. This is f of x equals the square root of x, which of course is called the square root function. The next one is f of x equals the cube root of x. If you're watching this in 2019-2020, you may notice that this piece is missing from your handout, so please add that in. Some of the older copies might not have that on there. It's supposed to be there. This is the cube root function. So make sure to differentiate between the cubic function, where we're raising it to the third power, and the cube root function, where a radical is involved. This is f of x equals 1 over x squared, so we call this the reciprocal squared function. Last three. This is f of x equals 2 to the x, and this is an exponential function. Specifically, this is an increasing exponential function, which is sometimes called an exponential growth function. This is f of x is equal to 1/2 to the x power, which is an exponential function as well, but a decreasing exponential function. And this is our log function, f of x equals log base 2 of x. And a log, or logarithmic, to use its official name, a logarithmic function. Now on the exponential functions and logarithmic functions, this base could be different numbers. I just picked 2 as a very basic example to use of a parent function, but we can also use other simple numbers as examples of exponential and logarithmic functions. You will need to know the shape of the graph with key points and the equation and the name. You need to know those by heart to do the rest of this unit.